On today's adventure, we take the 5-mile hike around Fairfax County's Burke Lake.
Wow, this is a really awesome spot. We're starting today's hike from the main Burke Lake Marina. It's just under 5 miles around the whole lake. We only have 2 hours until the sun sets, but I've wanted to do this forever. Just looking across, straight across, it looks so far. Let's go.
Actually, before we head out, let's learn a little about Burke Lake.
Burke Lake is over 200 acres, and that's just the water section. The park itself is almost 900. They have boats you can rent. Everybody's always fishing down here. But one of the biggest activities here is biking and walking around the perimeter of the lake on the trail. Let's get moving. You gotta watch out for flying frisbees hitting you in the head, because we're walking right through the frisbee golf course. The other thing that we're not gonna see today is the miniature kids train, which does follow along some of this path as well. The coolest and also coolest part of this trail is that there are trees all around us. So while it is 90-something degrees out in the sun, there's actually a little bit of a waterside breeze, and we got the shade from the trees.
No matter where you are on the trail, you're never too far from the water.
Biking is another huge thing that's done on this trail. You'll hear them coming, but when you're walking, you'll have to move out of the way of several bikes. Parks always have these fitness things, and nobody ever uses them. Oh my gosh, someone's using it.
We passed dozens of walkers, but what intrigued me the most was the jogging.
The 2 reasons that runners love this park is, number 1, it's like a rocky, flat, paved trail. And number 2, it's about 5 miles, which I guess is a pretty good jogging distance. I usually don't like to go more than 3. So here we are on the west end of the lake. It's so beautiful down there, but we are in Northern Virginia. So the main road that thousands of cars go by every day is right on the other side. As we approach this area of the woods, I'm starting to smell campfires. That's because the trail goes through the Burke Lake Park campground. Each site gets a picnic table and a fire pit and a standing grill. And you can see the other grill and table right there. That's how close your sites are to each other. It's pretty cool to have forest camping that close to DC, but people are loud all night. We've left in the middle of the night both times we've camped here. And the other thing I love about this park is with the sun coming down through the trees and this huge water, it's so calm over here. It really does not feel like you're in Northern Virginia. There's a nature trail off of the main trail. I thought this was a nature trail. That's a good time to air the clips, Chris. If you saw our Walney Pond video, that's the main place I go. But Burke Lake is the second place I go to try to capture wildlife. So that's where we got all those shots from. I don't know what this is, but it looks spooky.
I saw a random path going off the side of the trail, so I had to explore.
Wow, this is a really awesome spot. It's like a little secret peninsula, and now we can see all the way down to the dam over there, all the way down to that end corner, all the way down to the road, and the marina right there. And I think that's an island.
fun walking on some trees, it was time to head back to the main trail.
They do have these handy dandy mile markers along the trail so you know where you are. And now I know I'm at mile 3, and that means I got 2 more miles to go. I love walking along these lakes as the sun starts to set because you get cool shots like this one with the sun flare coming through the trees. And we finally made it over to the dam. As you can see, this is the flat edge of the lake that goes all the way across the side. And we made it to the dam literally the second the sun crushed over. Basically, the water level here is super low because they're doing some kind of construction somewhere. They let the water level down by sending it through the dam. By the way, nobody catches fish at Burke Lake except for me. I'm the luckiest fisherman in the history of Burke Lake. And speaking of fishing, there's also a secret second parking lot. If you don't have a fishing license, the cops will write you a ticket. They do it almost every day in the summer. And then these docks over here are open 24 hours. So you can come down here around midnight and you can do night fishing all night long.
You'd be surprised on the weekends how many people are here late night.
And now the trail has circled all the way around back to the main park. So the last part goes through the picnic areas, the volleyball courts. The trail continues that way, but this way there's a different trail that kind of goes along the water. And then the final landmark of the trail, the fishing pier. And here is my pro tip to all the fishermen out there. Nobody ever catches something off of the official fishing pier.
Okay, fine. Maybe some people do.
Boom. Over 2 hours, over 5 miles. Thank you for joining me for the hike around the entire Burke Lake, and I look forward to seeing you on my next DMV adventure. So welcome to those of you who accidentally find this after the toga logo. So this was another hike where I just came to maybe like look at Burke Lake, and I just started walking, and all of a sudden 5 miles in, I wore these dumb slip-on shoes again, which break my ankles. I brought no water even though it was 90 degrees. And I brought this 8-pound camera bag with me. Next time, I'm gonna wear the right shoes, I'm gonna bring the right equipment, and I'm gonna bring water because I am dying. Yes.